Namaste children. Today the subject which we are going to discuss is about geography. What is geography? Geography is a field of a science devoted to the study of lands, features, inhabitants and phenomena of the earth and its planets. So in short we can say that geography is a study of earth and its people. So the lesson which we are going to discuss right now is India, location, relief and drainage. India location. So in this map, where is India situated? So you can see the continent of Asia here. So where is India situated? India is situated in the southern part of the continent of Asia. India is situated in the southern part of the continent of Asia. So India is the seventh largest country in the world and second largest country in Asia. So India accounts for about 2.4% of the total area of the world, and India shares its 15,200 kilometer long land frontier with Afghanistan in the northwest, China, Nepal and Bhutan in the north, and Bangladesh and Myanmar in the east. So what these countries are called as? So they are called as a Indian subcontinent. So in this map you can able to see Afghanistan, Pakistan in the west, China, Nepal, Bhutan in the north and Bangladesh, Myanmar in the east. So these countries are referred to as a Indian subcontinent. That is, India forms a strong geographical and political zone with these neighboring countries. So they are collectively referred to as a Indian subcontinent or South Asia. So India, they share its longest border with Bangladesh, while the shortest border is with Afghanistan. So apart from that, we have Indian Ocean and its two arms, namely Arabian Sea in the west and Bay of Bengal in the east. So India, along with the countries of Myanmar, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan and Sri Lanka, is called a subcontinent here. So here we can say that Indian subcontinent has a 9 neighboring countries, that is Afghanistan, Pakistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar and also Sri Lanka and Maldives is also one of the neighboring countries. That is, they share its maritime boundaries with India. So these are all the 9 neighboring countries. So next we are going to see about India location in the world map. So in this world map you can see the division here. So now where is India located? So where is India lies? Now India lies in the northern hemisphere and it is in the eastern part of the globe here. So you can say that India lies in the northern hemisphere and in the eastern part of the globe. So India is located on the northeastern hemisphere. Okay. So when you go for the location and extent, India extends from 8 degree 4 minutes north to 37 degree 6 minutes north latitudes and 68 degree 7 minutes east to 97 degree 25 minutes east longitudes. So I said that India is located of the northeastern hemisphere. So the southernmost point of the country is Indira Point, which is located in the Andaman Nicobar Island, and the southernmost point of mainland of India is Cape Comorin, that is Kanyakumari. So we know that India has been politically divided into 28 states and 8 union territories for their administrative conveniences. So these are the India's location and extent. So when you go for the extent of India, so here you can see the location, that is 3214 kilometer. India stretches from 3214 kilometer from north to south and 2933 kilometer from east to west. And also in this map you can able to see the Indra Point, which is located in the Andaman Nicobar Island in the Bay of Bengal. So next we are going to see about the major physiographic divisions of India. So far we have seen about India, location and extent. Now we are going to see about major physiographic divisions of India. So we know that the majestic Himalayas peak in the north and the beautiful beaches in the south, and with the great Indian desert in the west and the breathtaking natural heritage in the east, make India a geographically vibrant, colorful and truly incredible country, right? So there is a varied nature of physiographic divisions in India, so that the country has many landforms. Based on these major differences, it is divided into the following physical divisions. So we have the 6 major physiographic divisions of India. First one is a Himalayan mountains, Great Northern Plain, Peninsula Plateau, Indian Desert, Coastal Plains, Islands. So these are the 6 major physiographic divisions of India. So in this map, you can able to see the 6 major physical divisions of India. So on the top, Northern Mountain Region or Great Himalayan Range. Number 2, Northern Plain or Indo-Gangetic Plain. Number 3, Desert Region, Great Indian Desert. Number 4, Peninsula Plateau or Indian Plateau. Number 5, Coastal Lowlands or Coastal Plains. Number 6, Islands, Lakshadweep Island and the Andaman and Nicobar Island. So these are the 6 major divisions of India. So now we are going to see detailedly about the Himalayan mountains. So the term Himalaya is derived from the Sanskrit word. It means the abode of snow. So the Himalayan mountains consists of the youngest and the loftiest mountains chains in the world. It stretches a distance of 2500 km from the Indus Gorge in the west to the Brahmaputra Gorge in the east. So the width of the northern mountains varies from 500 km in Kashmir to 200 km in Arunachal Pradesh. So even the Pamirnath, popularly known as the roof of the world, that is the Himalayan mountains. So in this picture you can able to see the lofty snow-capped mountains and the deep valleys and even the fresh waters. So we know that Himalayas are one of the main mountain region that originate all the fresh waters. Here only all the fresh waters will be originating here. So in this map you can able to see where the Himalaya stretches from Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. From Jammu and Kashmir to the Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. So next, these northern mountains. So we can say that Himalayan mountains is also known as a northern mountains. So northern mountains that function as a great wall and is grouped into 3 divisions now. One is a Trans-Himalayas, second one is a Himalayas, and third one is a Eastern or Purvachal Himalayas. So these are the 3 main divisions of the northern mountains. So let us see the first one, the Trans-Himalayas. So Trans-Himalayas is known as a Western Himalayas. It lies to the north of the Great Himalayan Range and it lies in the Jammu and Kashmir and Tibetan Plateau. As its area extends it's more in Tibet, so they are known as a Tibetan Himalayas. So here we can see the prominent ranges of Trans-Himalayas like Zaskar, Ladakh, Kailash and Karakoram ranges. These are the one of the prominent ranges of the Trans-Himalayas. So next one is the Himalayas. So as already I said, Himalaya is a core part of the northern mountain. It is also an young fold mountain. So it is formed by the movement of the Angara landmass in the north and Gondwana landmass in the south. So here there are 3 main ranges and divisions of the Himalayas here. So first one is the Greater Himalayas, second one is the Lesser Himalayas, and third one is the Outer Himalayas or Shivaliks. So Greater Himalayas or Himadri, Lesser Himalayas are Himachal, and Outer Himalayas are Shivaliks. So first we are going to see about the 3 ranges. In this map you can able to see the 3 Himalayan ranges. First one is a Great Himalayas are Himadri. Second range is the Himachal or Middle Himalayas. And third is the Outer Himalayas or Shivaliks. These are the three main Himalayan ranges. So in this map also you can able to see the Pamirnot. It is on the roof of the, is known as the roof of the world. And also you can see the Zadak range, then Kailash range, Zaskar range. These are the main prominent ranges of the Trans Himalayas. So next we are going to see about the Greater Himalayas or the Himadri. So the Greater Himalayas are about 25 kilometer wide and its average height is 6000 meter. So almost here also we can see the all the loftiest peaks of Himalayas located in this region. The notable ones are Mount Everest and Kanchenjunga. So we know that Mount Everest is located in Nepal and Kanchenjunga is located between the Nepal and Sikkim. So this range is the most continuous of all the ranges. This region always seems to be a permanent snow cover. So there are so many glaciers are there. So like Gangotri, Yamunotri and Sachin, these are the important glaciers that comes from the Greater Himalayas. So second one is a lesser or middle Himalayas or Himachal. It is a middle range of Himalayas. The height of this range varies from 3700 to 4500 meter. So its width is varies up to 80 kilometer. And here this region has extensive erosion due to heavy rainfall, deforestation and urbanization. So the major hill stations of Himalayas are located in this range like Shimla, Mussoorie, Nainital, Almora, Ranikhet and Darjeeling. These are the one of the familiar hill stations of these lesser Himalayas or Himachal. So third one is the outer Himalayas or Shivaliks. So Shivaliks extend from Jammu and Kashmir to Assam. So it is also partly made by the debris brought by the Himalayan rivers. Debris means the broken pieces of the rocks. So the altitude varying between 900 to 1100 meters and elevation of this range is 1300 meter. So the width of the Shivaliks vary from 10 kilometer in the east to the 50 kilometer in the west. So here you can see the flat values between the Himachal and the Shivalik ranges. Okay. So next one is the Purvachal hills. So these are the eastern offshoot of Himalayas. It extended in the northeastern states of India. So most of these hills are located along the border of India and Myanmar, while others are inside the India like Daffel Hills, Abor Hills, Mishmi Hills, Pakka Hills, Burn Hills, Naha Hills, Manipur Hills, Mizo Hills, Tripura Hills, Mikir Hills, Garo Hills, Kasi Hills and Jaintia Hills. And these are the hills collectively known as the Purvanchal Hills. So next we are going to see about the importance of Himalayas. So what are the importance? So Himalayas, they blocks the southwest monsoon winds and causes heavy rainfall to the North India. And it forms a natural barrier to the subcontinent also. And it is also a source of many perennial rivers like Indus, Ganges, Brahmaputra, etc. So perennial rivers in sense the rivers which flow throughout the year and have the permanent source of water there. So the northern mountains are described as the paradise of the tourists due to their beauty, nature of the beauty. So many hill stations and pilgrim centers like Amarnath, Kedarnath, Badrinath and Vaishnavi Devi temples are situated here. So it provides a raw material for many forest based industries and it prevents the cold winds blowing from the Central Asia and it protects India from the severe cold. So Himalayas are renowned for the rich biodiversity. So next we are going to see about the Great Northern Plains. So in this map you can able to see that is the length of this plain is about 2400 kilometer and the width varies from 250 to 350 kilometer. So this plain is one of the most extensive stretches of the alluvium in the world and is deposited by the rivers like Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra and their tributaries. So already I said the length of the river is about 2400 kilometer and the width varies from 240 to 320 kilometer. So the important characteristic features of this sediment deposits in these plains are Babar Plain, Tarai Tract, Bangar Plain, Khadar Plain and Delta Plains.